That's cool because, like you just said now, then you bought the second book, right away.
Yeah, the next day. I finished the first one, and by the time I finished it, the stores were closed. So
nice. But I've always seen that at home you have this huge shelf of books, and I know that just while you've been here, I know that you have studied and also bought some programs while you were here, and I was like, and I know that you are in the top masterminds in the world, and you always invest in your own studying, like your own development.
Oh yeah.
Did you do that from the beginning?
Yeah, I did. I pretty early on, I think it was under a year after I learned about NLP, I took all of Richard Bandler, who's the founder of NLP. I took all of his trainings within a 1 year time period, which was a lot of money. And I was out. I have to this day, I have no idea how on earth. Or can I say fuck?
Yes, you can.
Okay, how the fuck I managed to convince my bank supervisor of getting a loan to do all these educations.
You loaned? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. At the time, I didn't have much money. That it would have been absolutely... I suppose I could have found a way somehow, taking 10 paper routes each day or whatever.
But what is it like to you? Was it like, okay, this is... You just made a decision, like, this is something I'm going to do... no matter what, I'm going all in, or was it a slow process? It was
definitely not slow. It
was boom.
Yeah, it was intuitive at the time. It was first many years later that I realized what I had done back then, which was to make the decision that fuck it, I want to be one of the best at this, and I want to dedicate my life to it. In a sense, it was sort of like coming home. That I really felt that this was what I'm supposed to do. It felt right. It felt natural.
Yeah.
Not all parts of it, because certainly there was things where I had to train, and in the beginning I went, fuck, I'm never gonna learn this. And I made the mistake of comparing myself to Bandler himself, which is like really stupid, because he's like invented it and has spent 30 years of his life doing it. So comparing myself to him was like a seriously bad thing to do.
Like you comparing yourself with him, or you telling other people?
No, comparing my skills, getting starting to practice.
So you felt...
So when you see someone who's exceptionally good at something, and then you see your result, even how talented you are in the beginning, there's going to be a huge gap. And it's something I'm extremely big on. When I train people, whether it's in seminars or the people in my coaching group, I say, compare yourself to where you were a week ago, 6 months ago. Don't compare yourself to me or anyone else in the beginning, because you simply don't have it makes no sense whatsoever.
Exactly.
So and that was interesting, is that I discovered later that on an unconscious level I made that decision, and because of making that decision, I just did what I needed to do in order to take those trainings and practice and connect with the right people.
Did you know the steps to take, or did you just of course not all the steps till now, but did you just like grab all the opportunities? Like going, because to me it felt like this when I started my career, was that I also had the same feeling, like this resonated to me, this is something I want to do, this is sort of like following your heart kind of thing, and then I started like, okay, I wanted to grab every opportunity to somehow get to the next level within this. So I grabbed every opportunity, and it was very broad, not very narrow. Didn't find my own thing until a couple of years later.
Okay, well, I think there's two different aspects to that. First of all, I didn't grab every opportunity, because what I also decided is that I wanted to learn either from the sort of source itself, the best people, or wanting to learn from people who took the best from all the different kinds of fields and the different kinds of authorities out there.
Okay.
So that was the first thing. The second thing is that it was first many years later I sort of start getting an idea of where ultimately I wanted to go in terms of, well, what type of people, what type of niche, and as I found out that I had a knack for discovering new things myself. So it took several years before I sort of found some of the niches I work with now. That wasn't clear in the beginning.
Cool.
In the beginning it was more like a direction that I felt, okay, this is the right direction I'm in. And that's one of the things I think in goal setting. On the one hand, it can be really powerful having one big vision or one big goal, and sometimes it can be equally as powerful having the right direction to go in, and simply focus on the direction, focusing on the improvement, on being on the right path, not necessarily knowing where the path is specifically ends up. So I mean, and that's just one of those things that some people say, well, why can't we just get one answer? And I'm like, well, no one says life was supposed to be that easy.
It's true.